Hi everybody, how are you doing? This is Amanda. I do hope that you're well. Today is the 27th of August and I believe it is a new moon in Virgo. Somebody mentioned it yesterday and I thought, oh my gosh, I hadn't even appreciated that it was. It's just a very full on time at the moment, so I'm trying to catch my breath and keep abreast of everything. Probably as you are as well. But yes, new moon in Virgo today. So I thought what we would do is we're going to just pull some cards. We're going to see what the messages are that want to come through. I'd like to wish all Virgos a very happy birthday. And it feels good to be in the Virgo energy once again. So let's explore what messages there are today. Before I start though, I would just like to say something, which is that from September, it might be mid-September, it's not going to be the 1st of September, because that's next week. I'm going to be energetically relaunching this channel because there are some new things that I'd like to do on it. It will still have very similar focus to what you have hopefully enjoyed up to now. But I would like to take it in a few different new directions as well. I also want to push myself a little bit more out of comfort stream. So funny, Metatron's so funny. I'm pushing myself out of comfort stream by doing live streaming because Metatron knows me very well. And actually it's one of the things that I have done them before, only a couple of times. And to be honest, I've totally forgotten how to even do them. So it will literally be starting from scratch. And yeah, I'm a little bit nervous to do it, but I would like to break that mental barrier in my mind, which is bringing some anxiety up with regards to going there. So I think the first one I do, I'm just going to do it completely unannounced. I'm not going to say that I'm doing it. I'll just suddenly appear, hopefully on screen, and you'll hear me and be able to see me, and hopefully I'll be talking sense. And then I know once I've, you know, got into my stride, I'll be fine, but it's just those first couple of minutes, so bear with me. But yeah, I definitely want to be doing that in the autumn. And I also just wanted to say thank you for bearing with me through this year. It's been a strange one because the first half of the year was really taken up by having to complete the writing for the Christ Consciousness deck. That dominated my thoughts, my energy, my time. I managed to still produce videos during that time, but not to the frequency that I would have liked. So I'm going to be ramping it up a bit from autumn and looking forward to that. Okay, so thank you for your likes, your supports. Maybe you have got supports, I don't know. Oh gosh, let's get to it, shall we? Let's get to it. Right, I am just going to pull cards today and we're just going to see what happens. In terms of colour energies and ascended master energies that I feel around, particularly with this new moon and into September, I'm feeling a strong pull to the goddess energy, as well as Kali Ma and Mother Mary, both of which we have sprays for. And I'm going to start actually with the Kali energy, and I'm just going to spray that and then we'll get straight to it. Okay, so let's get ready to rumble is what I'm hearing. Wow, okay. What was the song? Let's get ready to rumble. Who did that? Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. I don't think it had many lyrics other than let's get ready to rumble, but I'm being given it for a reason. So let's get ready to rumble song. Who did that? Oh, Ant and Dec. Okay, well, that's not going to mean anything to anybody outside of the UK. But, oh, PJ and Duncan. Let me see what the lyrics are, guys. Hold on, because it's not about Ant and Dec. To be honest, the lyrics are, it's not exactly poetry. It's basically just let's get ready, let's get ready, let's get ready, let's get ready to rumble. Okay, well, something's coming, guys. Shall we have a look at what it is? Okay. Right, where shall I start? I will start with some tarot, and we're going to use the Arcana tarot today because they were in the sun on my windowsill. So they've charged up with the lovely sun energy today. Okay, as I said that though, on the bottom of the deck we have the moon, which of course is today's energy also. I've always felt, and there is something in this, there's like a competition. I mean, you know, it's energetic. Competition is not really the word, but between the sun and the moon. And, you know, the sun dominates for the day, even if you can't see it. And then the night is dominated by the moon, of course, wherever you are in the world. And each has their moment to shine in a different way. And of course, the sun and the moon also link into the masculine and the feminine energies as well. The masculine energy with the sun, the feminine energy with the moon. So it feels as though we're probably going to be doing a bit of a dance with the masculine and feminine energies going into September. Maybe getting to know them a little bit better within ourselves. Maybe seeing different aspects of other people as well. And being open to that. I think sometimes we can put people in boxes that they are a certain way, but it may just be because you're expecting to always see that. So allow people to grow and evolve as you do also. I will also say before I pull the cards that there are some unseen energies with this moon as well. And I don't know whether you're also feeling it, but I have noticed a lot of people talking about the fact that old connections, relationships, friendships, acquaintanceships are falling away at this time. And I really feel as though there is a gap between those that are doing the work, those that are not, those that are wanting to stay stuck, and those that are wanting to evolve. Now, there always has been a gap, but I just feel as though it's getting bigger and bigger now. And you might be surprised with regards to some people that might be leaving your life, and some people that maybe you thought were always going to be there as well, that for whatever reason the contract is now finished, or it's just had its time, it's had its place in the sun, and now there is new connections, new relationships that want to come in. So try not to mourn the passing of old connections too much when it becomes apparent that something is over and finished. Celebrate the good times, move on, send love to the person that now, for whatever reason, is not on your frequency or resonating with you anymore, or you just have nothing in common. Keep the door open if they ever want to come back, but just keep going on your path. Okay, so we have the moon. Let's see what goes with the moon. I have to say that the next card, I haven't actually shuffled the deck yet, but I am going to take it because we have the moon next to the energy of the Tower. So let's just put that there. And then we've got the Ace of Swords. Right, I'm going to take those three cards and then I'm going to shuffle. I'm not surprised to see that energy of the Tower because we just had Let's Get Ready to Rumble. So something is about to fall. I'm going to try and keep this personal and to your lives rather than go very into the macro, which Spirit always sort of drags me into a lot of the time, because these messages can also very much be linked into the macro, what's going on in the collective. But I want to be talking about your life today and try and make it personal to you. So Tower moments coming in, truths coming in. You see, this is the thing. It's as though maybe there are people around you who, for whatever reason, haven't maybe been as loyal or on your side as you thought they were. Maybe they weren't batting for your team, or maybe they've been secretly, because the moon is about secrets, maybe secretly a little bit jealous, a little bit envious. It might not be conscious, it might be subconscious, but the truth is, it is what it is, and that is what it is. But yeah, definitely Tower moments, truths being revealed, and it feels like it's a victory when the truths are revealed in our life at the moment. You know, the laurel wreath is always linked into victory for me as well. Okay, let's shuffle the deck and let's see which other three cards want to come out. I think for many of us, and this is also linked into the confusion and the chaotic energy over the last couple of years. Many of us have been waiting for clarity on something. And it feels as though it is coming. It might not be coming in the way that you expect it to be, but it is coming. You're seeing the truths of situations. You're seeing the truths of people. You're seeing the truth of your life as well. And then it's up to you, really, in terms of what you do with that. Are you happy with the way things are? Are you not? Are there things that need to change, or are there not? Okay, let's 3 more cards, please, for the people watching. Okay, there's 2 that have come out together. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords, the 5 of Cups, and the Devil. The Queen of Swords, the 5 of Cups, and the Devil. This feels as though it's very tied in to the last video that I put out, and the videos that I've done this week on Instagram and Facebook. Particularly the second part of the last video about addictions, because the devil is linked into addictions. It's linked into what we're tied into, a lower energy, a lower thought form. And ultimately that energy, which is not good for us, or however it takes shape, leaves us feeling like this, leaves us feeling bereft, leaves us feeling lost, leaves us feeling as though life is worse than it actually is, because there's always beauty in life, that however dark it is in your life, however many challenges there are, however many frustrations there is always 2 cups that are still standing. So Metatron showed me the analogy of a bowling alley, and you know when you roll the ball down and it takes out all of the skittles. He's saying that's not going to be allowed to happen, because what I'm being shown is that analogy, say you feel as though with regards to your life all the skittles are down, I'm just seeing them jumping back up again. And that is what actually happens, of course, in a bowling alley. So it's only temporary. Whatever is going on at the moment, it's a temporary loss. It's a temporary bondage or a temporary addiction to something. If you can appreciate that the skittles bounce back up, i.e. circumstances can change, new opportunities can come in, there's always a new day, but you have to be willing to face the truths that are coming to you at this moment in time, about yourself, about how you behave, about what you already know. Would put it this way, let's turn it on its head. Ultimately, to be the happiest and best version of yourself that you can be, we all know there are things that we could do better, whether it's to do with self-care, looking after ourselves, better boundaries, learning to say no, more exercise, healthier food, being around more positive people, trying to broaden our mind. A lot of my work recently has been about, trying to get away from the clickbait and the soundbite stuff to more in-depth exploration, of your to expand your brain. And can I just say something on that, actually? 2 things. Number one, when we say that, in terms of expanding our intellect and looking in depth at something, I think what the devil energy does, which we all have within us, is it puts up a block, which is like, oh, well, you don't have time to do that. Or, well, it all sounds good in theory, but, you're not going to be able to do that. 2 examples this week. We've had lots of workmen in the house, as you know. The guy that came to put a new toilet in, actually, let's get to the basics, okay? Putting a new toilet into our cloakroom downstairs. He had his, his AirPods in, AirPods, whatever they're called. And he was listening to Jordan Peterson. A great big long speech or whatever, Jordan Peterson podcast is what he was listening to when he was putting in our new bog, okay? And then I got talking to him, and it turns out, yes, he's going to see Jordan Peterson in September or October in London, So there he is doing his job, but also, expanding the mind. So I thought that was brilliant. And then this morning, just when I was getting ready, putting on my makeup, I thought I'll turn the TV on for 5 minutes. again, I know I talk about these guys a lot. It's just these are current examples in my life. I turned it on and it was Brian Cox again, okay? And he's doing, I don't know, it was some show about wonders of the universe. I watched it for 5 minutes and then switched it off because I had to go and do something. But in that 5 minutes, he was basically showing art done by prehistoric man, you know, the caves with all the beautiful paintings. And then he was theorising a bit, and some of it I didn't agree with because he was talking about soothsayers, probably somebody like me, you know, and like anyway, it doesn't matter what he was saying. It was more just that it was a moment where I was like, wow, yes, and thinking and all of that. So, but the devil will tell you, you don't have time to do any of that. You do, actually, you do. So, and it definitely feels as though this card of the Five of Cups, let me put this up again. I'm being shown that we are all, well, I'm not saying we're all exactly like that, but there's an aspect of our soul which is feeling as though they are missing out because our attention is going to things that the soul and the heart deeply crave. When was the last time, and maybe this period over new moon and the days that follow as we flow into autumn, or you're going to be flowing into summer in a different part of the world. But, you know, these are the times to think about, what does my heart crave? What does my soul crave? And it's probably a very different answer to what your lower self is craving or is wanting. So there are some truths coming in here, and these are very, very powerful cards. I mean, of the 6 cards that have come out so far, 3 of them are major arcana. The Tower, the Devil, and the Moon, okay? Now, this is also saying that these patterns within ourselves are coming up from the subconscious. It's as though we're starting to look in the mirror of ourselves and clearly see who we are, our light and our shade. And that's good, because to see both shows balance. It shows that you have open eyes to see your flaws as well as your gifts. And when you can see your flaws, you know what you have to work on. And I think whichever season you're about to flow into, whether it's autumn, whether it's summer, seasonal change is a wonderful push in the back to try again to better ourselves. Okay, so those are those 6 cards. Let me just leave them there. And I'm going to go to a couple of different decks. I think I'm going to go to the Metatron deck, my own deck. Let's pull. Those have all just fallen out. No, I'm going to shuffle again because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready, Metatron. He's saying to me, you never are. But what he means by that is he's not having a go at me. It's like I am all of you. He's saying this is the excuse that humanity makes. It's like, I'm not ready. And back to that song, Let's Get Ready to Rumble. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so it's this thing about stop procrastinating, just do it. Whatever it is that you've really been putting off, whatever it is that you've not wanted to face, this is a perfect time to try to do it, okay? And remember, doing can also be a soft energy. It doesn't have to be a hard masculine energy in terms of, I don't know, bungee jumping or something. You know, it can be just taking the time to pause and breathe and meditate, or take some time out of your day to go for a walk, whatever it is, okay? Right, let's have 4 cards from the Metatron deck is what I'm hearing. There's Bella saying hello to somebody. The Rainbow Bridge. We have always open. We have boundaries. Interesting. We have authentic self. And we have Silver, the warrior of light. Right. Those of you that have got my cards know that there are specific messages that go with these 4 cards, okay? But I'm hearing a different interpretation today. So we have the Rainbow Bridge, we have boundaries, we have authentic self, and we have silver warrior of light, which is linked into spiritual protection. This ties in a little bit to a post that I put up last night on Facebook and Instagram about discernment. I'm sorry to keep going on about it, but you know, it's so crucial. It's critical that we all master this process of discernment. And it was linked into a lot of the stuff that's doing the rounds at the moment about dissing particular ascended masters. I've seen even Jesus is getting it in the neck in some quarters. Metatron certainly is. That, you know, they're not what you think they are, etc. Some false light, basically, some false light channeling that is out there at the moment. No, I'm not going to name names, but I was shocked by some of the stuff that I'd watched yesterday, and it was after somebody mentioned certain things that were being said about Metatron, and I thought, oh God, not this again, because it's like I've covered all this quite a few times anyway. I don't mean to sound like that. It's just, it was like, oh God, because to be honest, those of us that have been on the spiritual path a while, we keep going in circular patterns as communities, and it's this energy that's always behind it. This sort of devil energy which comes in and tries to taint anything that's good and anything that is of love, and will make you question whether it is so. So I was basically posting something saying, okay, well, shall I speak up on that? Do I need to go onto the type of platforms where these people are saying this type of stuff to give a counter view, not an argument, not a counter argument, just a view, a perspective? And I haven't done it today, but it was quite interesting. One thing that Metatron said to me today was he showed me a video that I could do to answer it. And the title would be just something like, who is Archangel Metatron? And he says, then just sit there and say nothing and just allow my energy to come through. And he said, they will feel who I am and they'll feel the love. I will just do it for 30 seconds, actually. Let's just do it as he's requested. I'm going to bring it through with the Flame Attunement and Connection Spray. And yes, this is relevant to these cards, because what these cards are saying is that the Rainbow Bridge is basically what is in another dimension, what is the other side of the veil. As channelers, when we tap into, whether it's your great aunt Mildred, or whether it's Jesus, whether it's Metatron, whether it's any of the ascended masters, Kali, Mother Mary, etc., you are crossing dimensional frequencies. It doesn't mean they can't also be in your heart as well. There's actually a pathway to your heart. There's a dimensional pathway to your heart from your waking 3D self, even if you are evolved and awoken. I'm talking about your animal self, okay? The part of you that just needs to eat and sleep and do everything else, okay? That animalistic part of us, ourself, very red, very base chakra energy. But to connect into your heart, it's just literally about linking into a different pathway. It's as simple as thinking it so, but you're flipping a switch in your brain from I need coffee and toast to actually I'm going to go into my heart and I'm taking a route in there, and it's a dimensional route. And so anyway, but the point about this is that when you connect to dimensional beings of a different frequency, because let's be perfectly honest, most of us, all of us in fact, the likes of Metatron, Jesus, Buddha, etc., they are of a higher frequency. That's why we turn to them for guidance. We don't want them to solve our life for us. You certainly shouldn't want that, because you're here to solve your own life. You turn to them as for guidance and for support, but you're still expected to walk your own path. But what's happening is a lot of people are channeling, and they're not protecting themselves before they channel, is the first thing to say. So it's like they're channeling false light. It's not actually Jesus that's coming through. It's not Metatron that's coming through. And it's because there's, it's also linked into boundaries as well. Poor boundaries. When you have poor boundaries coupled with poor spiritual protection, you are going to lay yourself open to beings of light masquerading as that, but which aren't actually light, okay? And, you know, I was asked the question this morning, well, how do we discern who is of light, who isn't? And it's certainly not my job or anybody else's job, including those of you in the comments, to come on and say, well, this person is of the light and this person isn't. Because actually, part of discernment is learning that for yourself. I always say people or channelers who create separation, who talk about us and them, is a red flag to me. People who talk unity and love, even if you're talking about very difficult subjects such as, you know, aspects of disclosure, should be trying to unite people and bring people together and help others to understand all of our soul contracts, the fact that we all have to play different parts. So all this talk of Dracos and reptilians and you know, the archangels now also being under attack because they're not really who you think they are. You know, Metatron's cube isn't what you think it is. Flower of life isn't what you think of it. It's all this type of energy trying to bring a question mark into your head in terms of, well, I thought that was love, because actually every time I've tuned into, for example, Metatron or Jesus, it's felt like love. So this energy is saying, no, that's not love. That wasn't love. It's making you question what love is. So got to be really, really careful with your boundaries, with your spiritual protection, because, yeah, the bridge is always open. And indeed, you know, I need to do a video on channeling per se, but you shouldn't be open 24/7 to anything out there. You know, you should be regularly closing down. I don't mean closing down all of your chakras. I just mean saying to spirit, okay, I'm having 24 hours off, thank you very much. I don't wish to be contacted in my sleep. I don't actually wish to astral travel tonight. I've done enough. I just wish for a good night's sleep tonight. Or, you know, I say this regularly to Metatron as well, because certainly the Metatron energy is pretty relentless, because it's about, yeah, it's about getting the truth out there. It's about trying to help people, but there's so much need. So you can't do everything. So it's okay to switch off. So these cards to me are talking about that. And it's talking about who is authentic and who is not. And I'm just wondering whether it might be a good idea just to read the post that I put up last night. And I also think it's worth celebrating those who are authentic. Okay, I might just, I'm just going to read this. It's not very long, but those of you that haven't read it, this is what I'm referring to. I said this, I said, someone please give me a hand up out of the rabbit hole I have just had the misfortune to fall into. I was sent into it to investigate claims that others out there are saying that, e.g. Archangel Metatron is artificial intelligence. I really thought that I had heard it all, but no, there it is. Then it took me into someone channeling him in a silly voice, going from, I'm not going to say what they were going from because I don't want this person to be outed. I'm not into that really, but just talking about very deep subjects, and then something which was so banal it was just ridiculous. I basically was in the bathtub multitasking, and I said to Metatron, not that I needed confirmation, this isn't you, is it? And he just raised an eyebrow as if to say, you really need me to answer that? This Metatron, this false light Metatron, this other person was channeling, was labelling people good, bad, Dracos, reptilians, etc. Something Metatron would never do, as he allows us all to have the human experience, and galactic ones too. He oversees all soul contracts chosen, helps us understand light and dark and their critical interplay to learn, and he would not label and put us into separate camps, as he loves us in each incarnated choice. However much you want him to take sides, he won't. So the question is this, what do we do? Yeah, so that was sort of the quote. And it is really important that we understand this, that Metatron doesn't take sides. And I've said this before, but it feels relevant to say it again. A couple of years ago, when there was a particular story in the news, don't even want to go into what that was all about, I took a certain position one of my friends took a different position, a very different position, polar opposites. And I suspect they were very triggered by what I was saying, and I was quite triggered by what they were saying as well. Okay, I'm going to be honest about that. And so I turned to Metatron for guidance on it, and I said, well, how can this person be saying this stuff when, you know, you're giving me this stuff to say? And it wasn't about they're right, I'm wrong. It was more just, I don't get it. And all he said to me was, he said, I love you both equally, and you're both doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. Which makes it even more confusing, I know. But this is the whole point. Metatron is an energy that allows us expression, allows us our soul experience. So the false light that's out there, the devil energy that's out there, is needed, because otherwise how do you learn discernment and actually learn what is real and what isn't? You can't. You can't do it. You can't learn what is right and what is of love if you have something, if you don't have something to bounce off. So anyway. Right, let's go back to what I was about to do. So these 4 cards: Rainbow Bridge, Boundaries, Authentic Self, Warrior of Light. Let's just feel Metatron's energy for one moment. Okay. Oh, my head is just buzzing as soon as I say that. Wow, okay. Flame attunement energy. Archangel Metatron, just like you to feel into his energy coming through me now. This is who I am. This is how I feel. This is how I sound. And I am love. 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 And you are love. And you are love. And you are love. Okay. He's also got a sense of humour. Got the can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Absolutely beautiful. Okay, that's the Metatron that I know. Right. Okay. Let's just pull a couple more cards. How are we doing for time? Hold on, where's my glasses? Can't see you. Oh, not doing too bad. Okay, right. Let's just pull a few more cards. 3 more cards from the deck. tarot deck. Any other messages for this full moon? We've got the Hierophant. We've got the Temperance card. We've got the High Priestess. I love it. Okay, that's almost like Metatron saying, yeah, I am the teacher. But he's also saying we are all each other's teachers. You are also the teacher. I mean, just look at that. That is just such an energy of authority. Somebody on Facebook today wrote a comment and they said something along the lines of, you know, Metatron's not my boss. I don't want him to be my boss. And I was like, no one said he has to be your boss. It's like, that's a trigger. And actually the Metatron energy is quite an interesting one because it is just this energy of, yeah, there is an authority there. But what it's doing is it's reflecting back to you your own inner authority, your own inner sovereignty, your own inner strength. And that can sometimes freak people out. And it's like, that's what he's trying to show you. He's trying to be the bridge back to yourself. He doesn't want to do it for you. Temperance, fire and water merging together. And we also have the High Priestess. He's the one that can help for you to uncover the mysteries of the esoteric secrets that used to be secret. Only a certain number of people were ever able to know. Now anybody can have any of the knowledge. The key is there. The key is yours. It's there for everybody. So there's just this beautiful energy. Again, three more major arcana cards. 3 more major arcana. Let me just see if there's any other message that I want to feeling from these. We've also got the Chariot. The Chariot. Nothing immediate is coming through, so I'm going to move on. Let's just have a final message from this deck. Different deck. Let's see what we get. Oh, I wanted to show you one thing before we do that. Going back to this thing about focusing. This is a great book. I found this in a bookshop this week. Haven't read it yet, but it's only a little book. I could read this today if I really put my mind to it and focused. It's obviously it's Thich Nhat Hanh, who I've referenced many times in my work, and it's How to Focus. The monk who taught the world mindfulness. It's a £5 book, just bought out by Penguin. I think it's quite new, but shall I just open it on a page and see what message we get? So How to Focus. It says, sense impressions, as Bella starts to bark. Our 6 sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind, are in constant contact with sense objects, and these contacts become food for our consciousness. When we drive through a city, our eyes see many billboards, and these images enter our consciousness. When we pick up a magazine, the articles and advertisements are food for our consciousness. Not only children need to be protected from violent and unwholesome programs, films, books, magazines, games, and social media. We too can be destroyed by these things. If we are mindful, we will know whether we are ingesting toxins or nourishing ourselves with sense impressions that encourage understanding, compassion, and the determination to help others. How perfect is that page that I just opened it at? I think that's absolutely perfect for what I've been talking about. You know, make sure that you're nourishing yourself with things that are worthwhile, with things that are going to help you, not hinder you. Virgo, I think I'm right in saying it's very linked into the purity energy as well, isn't it? So it's bringing back an energy of innocence and purity. And of course, if you have that being spotlighted, then you're also going to have the polar opposite. So watch out for that in your life. It's a bit of a sneaky, manipulative energy at the moment. And as I said that, I pulled this card, which is Protect Yourself. Safeguard Yourself Protection. Card number 44. 44 is the angelic frequency. Isn't it interesting? The people that are dissing the archangels, the people that are dissing Archangel Metatron and saying, you know, he's not of light, what they're actually trying to do is they're trying to take down one of your prime defenses of protection. Because whether it's Metatron or it's Archangel Michael, these are mighty energies that you can call on to protect yourself. So what the devil energy does is it says, oh no, you don't want to do that because they're not who you think they are. They're not who you think they are. It's wrong to turn to, for example, the likes of Metatron, you know, go back to the whole Doreen Virtue saga. You know, that's what she would say. You're taking down one of your main defences. So not your only defence, but you're taking down one of your main defences. So this is saying put back up the angelic protection. It was given to you as a gift and it was given to you as a blessing. Don't let other people start to diss it. That's what this energy does, okay? But, you know, the devil comes very well disguised, very well disguised. So the angelic frequency is quite simple. It's literally just about calling it in and asking for the protection, and then protection comes. Okay, let's see what else we've got. I'm going to take that because that's going to take us to a whole other area. Just wondering what else to do in this video or whether to leave it here. Actually, it's gone on for nearly 40 minutes, I think. I can see. Feels quite concise. I am just going to end with a couple of other... I'm going to end with another one from the Metatron deck. That's what I feel like I want to do. Okay. So let's go back to flowing into September. Is there anything else to say, please? Is there anything else to say at this moment in time? Flowing into September. We've got the Karma card coming out. That goes back to what I was talking about at the start of this video. I really feel as though there are some connections clearing out at the moment. There's choice points coming in terms of whether you carry on along the road with certain people. This might be family, it might be friends, it might be business associates, it could be any form of relationship at all. But it feels as though this is very highlighted at this moment in time. Lots of people also choosing to cross the Rainbow Bridge. Where were we? Where was the cards again? We had the Rainbow Bridge and boundaries, didn't we? It's as though some people have gone as far as they can in this particular incarnation because they've completed what they came in to do, the lessons that they were here to learn, the things that they were meant to show and demonstrate. It might be very sad, but that feels as though that is happening as well. Lots of people passing over the Rainbow Bridge. It's as though they can't go any further in this particular reality. It may also be it's because they are, I'm not saying this is true of everybody that's passing, but I'm picking up there are some as well who are not prepared to elevate their frequency. And the thing at the moment, I really passionately believe this, is that as the Earth is ascending in frequency, then the she, Gaia, cannot hold those who continue to want to just exist at a very lower frequency. So this is going to be a process that's going to be carrying on for years, to be perfectly honest. We're going to be seeing, number one, on a positive aspect, beautiful births coming in of beautiful crystal children, rainbow children, children born with extraordinary frequency and ability. But you're going to be seeing those that are still trapped, who are unwilling to release the chains and accept the help that is here right now and every single day to change course. Those people are going to find that they're up against a boundary line, which is just you can't proceed any further unless you change your ways. But I also feel as well it's linked into people in our lives who maybe just aren't prepared to change, and then there's an aspect that we have to work on within ourselves, which is, well, do I accept just carrying on being around that type of frequency, or do I, in love, let it go? Now, obviously, there are certain relationships which will be karmic, particularly family relationships. Where's the karma card? Where, you know, if you have a duty and responsibility, you don't ever abandon anybody. Of course you don't. But I'm talking about there are other connections which maybe it is just time. It's a natural clearing out process. Okay, I think I'll leave it there for today because I want to get this up onto YouTube quickly. I wish you a good moon, new moon tonight. Looking forward to the new work that's going to be commencing from me in September. Thank you so much for all of the people that have been on my path with me on YouTube since 2012. Some of you remember when I had like 20 subscribers. We're nudging very slowly up to 100k. but I'll get there eventually. But I'm looking forward to doing the live streams. But yeah, be kind with me when I do them, because I'm a little bit nervous. But you know, you've got to push through it. That's the whole thing. You know, it's all good. Take care of yourselves. Lots of love. Have a good weekend. Bye bye for now. Bye.